Let's start with something honest. Most people aren't stuck because they're lazy. They're stuck because they're waiting to be ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel certain, waiting to feel perfect. And that waiting quietly steals years. If you've ever told yourself, I'll start when I know more, I'll do it when I'm more confident, I just need to get a little better first. This message is for you, because progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from movement. And today we're going to slow everything down and talk about why progress over perfection isn't just a mindset. It's the only path forward, especially if you're trying to change your life. Perfection isn't natural. It's learned. It usually comes from one of three places: fear of being judged, fear of failing publicly, fear of proving our own doubts right. Most people don't fear failure. They fear looking like a failure. So instead of taking imperfect action, they take no action at all and call it preparing. But here's the truth. Preparation without movement is just fear in disguise. Progress requires exposure, and exposure requires discomfort. That's not punishment. That's growth. Here's something no one talks about. Most progress doesn't feel like progress. It feels like confusion, uncertainty, awkwardness, slowness. When you first start anything meaningful, you don't feel powerful. You feel clumsy. And that's normal. Progress is happening long before results show up. Roots grow before branches. Foundations are built before houses appear. But people quit in the invisible phase because they mistake unfinished for failing. Perfectionism is expensive. It costs you time, confidence, momentum, opportunity. While you're waiting to be perfect, someone else is moving forward imperfectly and learning faster than you. Perfection doesn't protect you. It delays you. And delay is one of the quietest forms of self-sabotage. Let me share something real. I've been online since 2015, and if I had waited until I felt ready, I'd still be stuck. I didn't start confident. I didn't start skilled. I didn't start knowing what I was doing. I started because I was tired. Tired of long hours. Tired of feeling priced out of a life I loved. Tired of watching other people figure it out while I stayed frozen. Progress wasn't pretty, but it was honest. And honest progress changes lives. Perfectionism convinces people there's one correct path. There isn't. There are options. Some people want to be on camera, some don't. Some want simple income. Some want long-term skills. That's why I built Priced Out of Paradise. Not as a pressure machine, but as a place where progress is allowed to look different for everyone. Because progress isn't uniform. It's personal. This part is important. You don't wait for motivation to progress. You progress and motivation follows. Progress begins with one decision. I don't need to be perfect to begin. That decision unlocks clarity, energy, direction. Momentum isn't created by confidence. Confidence is created by momentum. Most people quit at the halfway point. Why? Because halfway feels uncomfortable. You're no longer excited like the beginning, but you're not skilled enough to feel confident yet. That middle zone is where belief is tested. But halfway isn't failure. Halfway is commitment. Halfway means you didn't quit early. And people who stay in the middle long enough always grow. Small actions done consistently change identity. Not overnight, but permanently. One lesson learned. One skill practiced. One conversation understood. That's how real change happens. Not viral moments, not perfection, just progress repeated. Progress alone is slow. Progress with community is powerful. That's why Priced Out of Paradise exists. Not to sell you a dream, but to give you an environment where you don't feel behind. You don't feel pressured. You don't feel alone. You're allowed to learn. You're allowed to ask. You're allowed to move at your pace. That's where progress thrives. When you choose progress, focus sharpens. Choices become visible. Energy aligns. Movement begins. Belief grows after action, not before. And suddenly, what once felt overwhelming starts to make sense. Not because you became perfect, but because you stayed in motion. If you're standing at the edge of a decision, ask yourself this: what opens up when I choose progress instead of perfection? More time, more clarity, more options. Progress doesn't demand certainty. It rewards courage. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be confident. You don't need to be perfect. You just need a place where progress is respected. That's what Priced Out of Paradise is. A free community built for people who want to learn how to make money online without pressure, hype, or pretending. If you're ready to stop waiting and start progressing, join my free community. https://joinmyfreecommunity.com. No pressure. No perfection required, just progress.